Hey y'all, it's Day. So I'm going to be doing a reading for us today. Very much looking forward to this reading. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, you can do so by checking out the link, which will be in the comment section below. I have a lot of fun things to look into on that website as well. So connect with me there. I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I want to thank my angels, guides, ancestors, God, God's source, and benevolent energies that stand in truth and love. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for the protection. Please continue to guide and protect us as we walk our path. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Very interesting energy so far. So the first thing that's coming up is we have the Sage, and it's coming out in the resistant position. The Sage. And there's this energy of like keep cool, be cool. Be in an energy. It feels like someone getting riled up emotionally. Or getting angry in a situation. But spiritual team is encouraging them to keep cool. And I'm hearing the words, be mindful. So hopefully we'll get more context on that. But it just kind of feels like a situation, a social situation. Like someone maybe making you angry or upset, where you may want to, or you might feel inclined to take it further. But the energy that's coming through is like spiritual team would like whoever this reading is for to exercise, I'm hearing, their wisdom in regards to the situation. And it definitely does feel counterintuitive, like you very much rather take things into your own hands. I'm hearing taking matters into your own hands, taking action on something in a situation where it would be more beneficial not to. Then we have the Destruction card, and it's coming out in reverse. And it definitely feels like an opportunity to avoid something that could turn into something else. It's like this is not the energy necessarily, but it's kind of like how road rage, one thing can lead to another thing, and how everything can happen so fast that after it's happened and someone asks you like, what happened, how did it get to this point, and whoever that person is that kind of got emotionally sucked into it kind of doesn't know us also what happened. So I'm also hearing the words flash out. So someone may be inclined to flash out on somebody because they know like they can handle this. They can handle this real quick. So I'm definitely getting this energy of someone wanting to take matters into their own hands. And so far the way this coming through is kind of like spiritual teams like, nah. On the right of that we have surrender, which is coming out in reverse as well. And I'm hearing the word neglect. Surrender. The way that this energy is coming through with the surrender in reverse, it feels like someone like bypassing something or overriding something. And this may be in the form of like a friend maybe telling them to leave this alone or to not get involved, or they're receiving advice in some way, shape, or form, but they're kind of like, nah. So they're reluctant to surrendering. Underneath the destruction, which came out in reverse, where spiritual team is encouraging us not to take matters into our own hands. We have the pillar. Very interesting. The pillar. The way that's coming through is like spiritual team, from their perspective, you will gain so much more by allowing yourself to be in a space or get in a space. It feels like in your emotional body or in your physical body, like the physical body is like heated. I'm getting like someone breathing hard, like they're really getting worked up about something, and not worked up as in stressed out, worked up as in I want to take action, like what's up, let's get active, that type of energy. And spiritual team is saying that there are other aspects of your being, of your knowingness, that they want you to actually build on, that isn't related to taking action. Underneath the surrender card that came out in reverse, where spiritual team was talking about there's some reluctance or some spiritual bypassing of some sort, like an ignoring of wisdom, like someone is trying to tell them something, but they're not trying to hear it. Underneath that, we have boundaries, and that's coming out in the upright position. And the way that it's coming through in this imagery, we have an armadillo. So it's like, it's some energy of like protecting yourself. It's like you may not see it this way because you feel confident that you can handle this, and a big part of this energy as far as handling means the way that feels kind of like fighting. And spiritual team is like protecting yourself. Protect yourself by not allowing yourself to get or be in situations such as these, fighting. Will be more beneficial for you right now. We also have connect to the heart, and that's coming out in reverse as well. A lot of reversals. Destruction in reverse, and as I said, that was coming out in as like to, I forgot the word, but like to avoid a turn you don't want to go in, or a route that you didn't want to go, to avoid destruction, to avert destruction type of energy. And so with connect to the heart coming out as well, there is this energy of being able or being mature enough or having enough emotional authority or control over your emotions that you don't allow yourself to be disturbed. I'm hearing disturbed, like not allowing people to disturb your peace in a way. There is also this energy of picking your battles, and these are dogs in this connect to heart. And definitely with the energy of the destruction and the reference to like someone wanting to fight, is definitely this energy of whatever this thing is that spiritual team is encouraging whoever this reading is for, to avoid a dog fight. And it can kind of be an ego thing as well. And spiritual team is wanting whoever this reading is for to in this aspect, in this situation, to let the ego go, let the ego resolve. Angels, guides, ancestors, God, God source, and benevolent energies that stand in truth and love, thank you for the love, thank you for the guidance, thank you for the protection, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. So underneath this connect to the heart, under these dogs, and a reference to a dog fight. With a dog fight, it's kind of like, dog fights can be very vicious, and it's almost this energy of like, there are no winners, there's only losers. Like, everybody's gonna leave hurt, everybody's gonna leave injured, type of energy. So call judgment on the situation to realize it's definitely this energy of picking your battles, having discernment. Yeah. Underneath the connect to heart, we have share wisdom, which is coming out in reverse. Share wisdom. And then on the right of that, we have self-love, upright, self-love. And I'm hearing the word ego. It feels like something about the ego, or whoever this reading is for, being upset. And there is this energy of like, we know women can be emotional, but there's an energy of men that are not able to control their emotions as well for various reasons. Even though it doesn't look a certain feminine type of way, that it is still there and existing. On top of this self-love and wisdom, where spiritual team is saying a part of being wise and tuning into wisdom, or acknowledging or realizing true wisdom in regards to picking your battles, which battles to participate in or get into or take on, and which ones not to, is self-love. That is caring for yourself, and it's thinking long term, realizing long term what is really important. So on top of these cards, we have the Seeker, which is coming out in reverse. What's that about? Seeker, the Seeker, wisdom, the teeth, wisdom. It's coming out in reverse. What's that about? And on top of the connect to heart, Seeker. Again, there's this reference to someone willfully being reluctant to take heed, is the energy. So there's a friend, or there's a close relative and or an elder that has been sharing things with this person, like their perspective on it. And it's kind of like the energy is coming through. You know how sometimes people share their perspective on it, and it's kind of like you hear what they're saying, but at the same time, maybe not everything that they're saying kind of applies, or you may not feel like it applies, or it's something that's not connecting, or something that's not aligning up with the wisdom that someone is already receiving. And then there's this energy of like, they may not be 100% right. They may not be on point completely, or you might not understand how it aligns to you, but there is still something in there that your spiritual team is wanting to take heed to, and there's a reluctance to do so. Someone is just kind of like discarding it. So on top of the pillar, where spiritual team was saying that something about handling things, or choosing not to handling, or choosing which battles to involve yourself in, the spiritual team is wanting you to learn how to cultivate a new skill or characteristic or way of being or approach to a situation, or a way of handling your temperament in regards to a situation that they're like, I know you like to, maybe not that you like to fight, or that you are used to handling certain situations a certain way, maybe perhaps through fighting or domineering or something like that, but they're wanting you to cultivate, I don't know, I'm getting imagery of a man that it's like certain things can happen to them, but there's a certain level of self-assuredness that they know they don't have to get out of pocket, like they can choose. And I think that's what spiritual team is saying, that something about this emotion, this bravado or something, is like, you're not totally, you're more emotional than you may be realizing, and it's giving me this caution sign type of energy. And it's just giving me this energy of, you know how you can be doing something, you're running or something, and you just trip. Before you know it, you done tripped, and it's not just a trip, it's a rolling, as in it doesn't stop or something like that. Things escalating more or bigger than you realize that they would. And so if you're familiar with Kevin Gates, there was a situation where a fan was recording him and saw him in a store and was like calling him Boosie or something. And it was just, he had did an interview where the host of the interview, or the interviewers, were talking to him about that situation. And he was just talking about, I guess, his perspective on how he handled it, why he handled it the way he did, and his perspective regarding that. But there's definitely this energy where maybe someone, whether or not someone is trying to provoke you, or they're just, that's just how they are, whatever, there's a focus on this energy of, like, I'm not going to allow myself to get out of pocket because I know who I am, even though you're trying to pretend that you don't know who I am. Yeah. It's just like this, it's heavy on the self-composure in this message here. Self-composure. Okay, so we have that. Sage. Yeah, especially with the first card being the Sage coming out. Definitely it may be beneficial for you if you're into that, or if you're open to that. Getting some sage, burning sage in your area or in your space, your home. Make sure you open the windows as well to allow fresh energy to come in as well. Energy clearing, I'm hearing, could be very beneficial for whoever this reading is for. Underneath that, we have the Alchemist. The Alchemist. Love this for you. So we got the Alchemist. And spiritual team is like wanting you to know what's in your control, what's not. Focus on your temperament, self-composure. Develop some knowing of trust that things will work out for you, that you don't have to take matters into your hands. You don't have to fight every battle for yourself. And this is not to say that you are fighting every battle for yourself, but there is this energy of spiritual team wanting you to know that, like, you don't have to get your hands dirty. You don't have to do too much. You don't have to get out of character. And this is coming out in the choice point position, because spiritual team wants you to know that when you do get into these energies, that it is a choice. It may not feel like it is a choice. You may feel like, I have to handle this. But spiritual team is coming through to say you don't have to handle this. And that is a choice. We all have free will. So that's coming out in the choice point position. And as it's coming out as the Alchemist, there's definitely an energy of like understanding, emotional processing, finding healthy ways to process your emotions. Underneath that, we have transmute. Yes. Transmute. So for whoever this reading is, or for whoever is cross-watching, if you know any positive ways, activities, tasks, rituals to help alchemize your emotions, please share. Angels, guides, ancestors, God, source, and benevolent energies that stand in truth and love, thank you for the love. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for the protection. Please continue to guide and protect us as we walk our path. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Is there anything else that we need to know regarding this situation? Yeah, thank you. Else that we need to know? Very interesting energy, you guys. It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, so we have the Magi coming out in the choice point position. And that's kind of like, for me, like the Magician card in the tarot. The Magi. I feel like it has a lot to say, but it's like, let me cook. Okay, so we had transmute. Towards the top of the spread, we have fate. Fate. Very interesting energy. So there's this energy of like there is this energy of sometimes there are things that are out of our control, or experiences that are meant to happen that we feel like shouldn't have happened or shouldn't be happening. And spiritual team is encouraging or asking us to trust the process. If it is out of our control, to kind of get ourselves in a headspace where we can allow things to play out. On the right of that, we have reflect, and that's coming out in reverse. Whoever this reading is for, they're like, nah, they ain't trying to hear none of that. They ain't trying to hear none of that. Understandably so. Underneath this reflect card, which is coming out in reverse, we have withdraw. Withdraw. So this person may at some points or periods of time experience depression, where they kind of just want to be away from the world. Underneath the deck, undercurrent, under the deck, undercurrent energy, we have the Sovereign. And this is kind of going back to this energy of knowing who you are, not allowing people to get you out of pocket. And from spiritual team's perspective, this showed up because you are more than capable than you are this, and you're more than capable of embodying this. But right now you're not, because you may be in a mindset, a lack mindset, or a scarcity mindset, or just that energy where we feel like we need to control certain things that in reality we actually didn't. On top, the top of the deck, undercurrent energy, is the Outlaw. And the energy that this is giving me is kind of, it's not exactly this, but it's kind of the energy of rebel without a cause, taking matters into your own hands that aren't necessary, creating more work for yourself than it was necessary, putting yourself in situations that are providing some form of immediate gratification, like it gives you immediate gratification to check somebody real quick. However, it may create kinks in your situations long term or later on, is the energy. So with the Magi that came out in the choice point position, the way that it's coming through is like a reference to manipulation in some way, shape, or form. It doesn't feel like manipulation as in deception, but more so, again, another reference to taking matters into your own hands that were never yours to do, to handle, to hold. Is there anything else that we need to know regarding this reading? In closing, is there anything else that we need to know? Is there anything? I feel like there's something else that wants to come out. Okay, So on top of the reflect card, which came out in reverse, where spiritual team is saying, coming through to acknowledge that someone is not wanting to see the bigger picture, they're not interested in seeing the bigger picture, or they're reluctant, there is some cognitive dissonance for wisdom, and I'm hearing the word judgment. On top of that, we have play in reverse. The way that's coming through is kind of like relinquishing yourself. I'm getting someone that feels very uptight in their physical upper body when they get angry. And spiritual team, it's kind of like this energy of when you're watching a movie, sometimes we can get so involved in the movie that, you know, when they make the movie in such a way that it's just like, I hope that this, I hope that are they gonna make it, that type of energy. And there's this exercise of being able to watch a movie but not get so tied into it that you remember that it's a movie, that it's not actually happening. And there's this energy of allowing your chest to, like, exercise trying to open your chest, like relax your chest. And that is the heart space. And whoever this reading is for, that is like very much a very physical thing. And it could be very challenging. But it's this energy of whoever this reading is for can sometimes find themselves in situations where they're very restricted, like their body constricts. Also, with the reflect card that came out in reverse, there's this energy of the third eye needs to be dusted off, in regards to not being the reluctance to seeing the bigger picture in the situation because you want to take matters into your own hands. So that's another thing that you can look into, how to, well, third eye stuff can push you through a rabbit hole, but finding ways to exercise seeing the bigger picture. Then we have get curious in reverse. Yeah, it's like get curious about why do you think spiritual team is putting you through this. We're talking about the things that are out of our control. Like we know it's out of our control, but we feel inclined to like still clench anyway. Get curious about how we got here. Then we have the observer coming out in reverse. Yeah, spiritual team definitely wants us to take an observer point of view and not a reactive point of view. Then we have the Magi, where spiritual team was saying, don't take things into your own hands. And then we have reclaim in reverse, and it's just like reclaiming this inner authority, this exercise of your ability to kind of like restrain yourself. There's definitely this heavy energy on restraining, like being able to restrain yourself, being able to control your emotions is a strength. And that goes straight back to that pillar that came out in reverse, where spiritual team was acknowledging, I know you're not inclined to do this, you're not interested in doing this, but there's some developmental characteristic things that we're wanting you to work on, to be aware of, that's going to actually build you for the future. And they're actually wanting you to reclaim that. Love that for you. Ooh, card's getting crazy. Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? Yeah. So reclaim. Ancestors, your spiritual team is alive and well. Like they're actually active in your life. You can communicate with them, you can talk to them, you can verbally express outwardly. That would be very beneficial for whoever this person is. Like, talk out loud. I know it's cringe or it's weird or it might be counterintuitive, but that should be working. That shit they be hearing and they will respond if you're open to it. So ancestors coming out, your spiritual team and your ancestors want you to know, like, they do got your back. Like, quit thinking that they don't. Quit thinking that you have to take matters into your own hands. Let them do the heavy lifting. Let them do You don't have to get your hands dirty type of energy. And then I'm hearing promise, like the fact that they feel like they need to promise this to you definitely speaks to like where this person is at in this reading. So yeah. Then we have power coming out on top. Like spiritual, this came out with promise. I know it's getting dark, so you probably can't see, but oh, we can see even better than before in the light. Power. Spiritual team said, your spiritual team, whoever this reading for, your ancestors, they're like, we got you. Like, damn, sit back. Be passenger princess for a minute. You could be passenger princess for a minute. I know this is for a tarot for men and masculines, but they're like, they want you to get into your soft life a little bit as a masculine, to trust and know that you are protected as well. Yeah, spiritual team, they're driving the big truck. They're driving the big boat, and they want you to know that. They said, take a seat, take a seat respectfully. We got this. Then we got manifest coming out. Ooh, manifest. Yeah, it's giving me this energy like so many things I'm hearing will open up for you if you would just allow. Sometimes we be doing stuff, and it's just like we don't need to be doing stuff. Then we got get creative. This person, whoever this reading's for, that kind of struggling with their emotions and with anger, going back to alchemy and alchemizing, you have a lot of spiritual power. You have a lot of manifestation power. That anger is manifestation power, kind of like distorted in a way. Very interesting. And even though I've been trying to close, it just seems like there's something else. We have paradox, and it feels like what's counterintuitive is beneficial. Ask body is in reverse. Stretching daily could be beneficial for you to get more in tune with your body and what it feels like, so you can kind of get a jump on it before things escalate, because what did come out earlier was this reference to flashing out or crashing out or spazzing out type of energy, and how you can stumble into something that becomes a greater, bigger situation than you realize that it would be, and having the opportunity to avoid something that could lead to injury, whether it's physical or just anything that's like an injury to what you got going on. Compassion in reverse. Spiritual team is wanting you to work on your compassion. And we have shadow. Yeah, shadow. So your compassionate heart, your compassionate ability is a shadow aspect for whoever this reading is for. So finding ways to tap into your ability to be compassionate, to learn about what it means to be compassionate could be very beneficial. Man. Yeah, so that's it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Again, if you'd like to book a private reading with me, visit my website. And aside from that, I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.